Welcome again to our YouTube channel. Our God is sufficient for all. Our God is sufficient for all. Work is an expression of love. Work is an expression of love. And as we conclude this series on fathers, I would like to say it is the father's duty to teach his children or to teach his child how to love, how to become a gift, and how to give the self for others. It is the father's duty to teach the children how to love, how to become a gift to others, and how to give themselves for others. The primary method of teaching a child to love is to work side by side with the child. Teaching the child to work within the context of family. That the primary method of teaching a child to love is to work side by side with that child, teaching that particular child to work within the context of the family. When we were growing up, we grew up in a farm, in a family of farmers. And majority of those who grew up in farms, they worked in the farms with their parents, with brothers and sisters. And that moment they expressed themselves, there was a lot of exchange, a lot of love. But nowadays there's an advantage of advancement. Many people are not living in the farm. They are living in cities, in towns, and the parents are working professionally. So when somebody talks about a parent, a father, working hand or side by side with a child, somebody will ask, how will that happen? Even when the parents are working professionally in offices, there are always family chores or family chores or work within the family. Domestic responsibilities. Some things can be done within that family. The garage, outside cleaning, responsibilities in the house. There are so many things a father can do with a child, even within the family in urban centers, in cities, in towns. There are a lot of work that a father can do with children or can do with a child in order to have that child learn to love through that particular work. The father works side by side with the child. There are so many things a father can do with children, even in urban families or in cities or in towns. Why are we insisting that a father should work hand in hand or side by side with a child to teach them how to love work within a family context? It's because work has been redeemed and transformed into a way of making us holy by Christ. Christ was the carpenter. Work has been redeemed, has been transformed into a way of making us holy by Christ, the carpenter. And that we find in Mark 6, verse 3. And this carpenter was a son of the carpenter. Jesus was a carpenter, a son of the carpenter in that context. And this we find in Matthew 13:55. And this son of a carpenter worked faithfully with his father, Joseph. He worked with Joseph in Joseph's side. He worked with his father Joseph, learning the value of work, learning the meaning of work. So in that context, the son of a carpenter working with a carpenter learned in his human nature the value and meaning of work. Familial work has been given the power to perfect us by Christ's own work, working within that context of the family. Jesus, the Son of God, has given this familial work within the context of the family, power to perfect us. Familial work offers a way for children to participate in family life by using their gifts, their abilities, and talents. And in doing so, these children discover more of their particular identity. So the more we allow our children to work within the context of the family, whether it's cleaning, whether it's fixing some things in the family, whatever that can be done, this work within that context of a family allows the children to participate in family life, know how to wash dishes, how to rinse clothes, how to clean the house, how to take care of the animals, how to sweep the compound. In doing so, these children discover more of their own particular identity because they are using their abilities, their gifts, their talents. They particularly understand and discover of their particular identity. A father who serves his children will naturally teach his children how to serve. When the father serves the children, in serving the children, he teaches them how to serve. The father is not the only one who should be a servant in the family. No. He is not the only one who should be a servant in the family. The mother can be a servant. Everybody serves each other in the family. But the father has got one responsibility. He is obligated or obliged to teach his children how to participate in sharing the work. He has that responsibility to teach the children how to participate in sharing the work. A child is not a slave, but has to be given an opportunity to learn to work side by side with the father. He is not a slave of the father, but is given an opportunity to work side by side. Maybe it's fixing the garage, fixing the car, fixing anything broken, working side by side with the father. It's not the servant of the father. It's not a slave, but is given an opportunity to work side by side with his father. The training a child receives, or the training of a child to participate in familial work, is indispensable and demands patience from the father. Training these children to participate in familial work is indispensable and demands patience from the father in bearing with the child's inexperience. The child is not experienced, so the father must be very patient with the inexperience of the child. He has to endure patiently this inexperience of the child and allow the child to eventually, to willingly offer himself to assist others. That the father must endure willingly the inexperience of the child, up to the moment when the child will be willing to offer their self to assist others. So the father must be very patient in training these children, in training this child. According to St. John Paul II, he tells us, work was the daily expression of love in the life of the family of Nazareth. That's what St. John Paul II told us, that work was an expression of love in the Holy Family of Nazareth. That Joseph blessed Jesus with an environment for the perfect Son of God to perfect human nature through mutual self-giving within Joseph's carpenter's workshop. Let me repeat. St. John Paul II tells us that work was the daily expression of love in the life of the family of Nazareth. That Joseph blessed Jesus with an environment for the perfect Son of God to perfect human nature through mutual self-giving within Joseph the carpenter's workshop. So therefore today, we have to agree that work is an expression of love within the family context. It is not a punishment when a child is requested to do something for the family. We are not punishing our children. It's an expression of love that we are sharing responsibilities and we are being made perfect by Christ, who himself was a carpenter. That means working, sweating, and conversing, sharing ideas and burdens. I could imagine when Joseph was working with Jesus, they were working hard, sweating, conversing, sharing ideas and the burdens. And in so doing, Joseph trained his son by means of self-sacrificial love for his project of building the temple of sacrifice, that we see the Lord sacrificing himself for all of us on the cross. That he gave that good environment for Jesus to develop as a human being and also to be able to build the project of self-sacrifice in his person. In the carpenter's workshop, Jesus crafted the cross of self-giving love by means of sharing himself with Joseph. That means Joseph working with Jesus, particularly in his own child. That Joseph working with Jesus, particularly that his own child, side by side, offered all the work to Jesus, so that by means of this self-giving love of a father, assist the children in becoming the temples of the Holy Spirit. It means that Joseph working with Jesus, he enabled him to build his own being as a human person, and enabled him to self-sacrifice, to sacrifice himself. And also as a father, as you work side by side with your child, you are enabling your child that by means of self-giving love, you are assisting this child to become the temple of the Holy Spirit. By means of self-giving love, a father assists his children in becoming the temples of the Holy Spirit. As you work together, sacrificing, swearing, sharing ideas, sharing yourself with your children, as Joseph shared himself with the son Jesus, side by side, that by means of self-giving love, a father assists his children in becoming the temples of the Holy Spirit. It is true that children learn from their fathers as they work side by side. It is also true that the fathers also learn from the children the most valuable lessons in being good fathers. So as the fathers work with their children, also they learn those valuable lessons of being good fathers. So therefore, fathers, as we conclude this series, as you work with your children, as you train your children, as you work with them, as you express your love through work, may your self-giving love transform the future generations in and through your children. May you transform future generations in your children and through your children as you express your love through work. May your self-giving love transform the future generation in and through your children. May you be refined as a father, perfected by God's grace to become the best father you can be, the best father in the image of God, to be a blessing to your children at all times as you share yourself with your children through work. May God bless you, and that brings us to the end of this Father series. Then we begin something else from tomorrow. May God bless you and embrace you. If you have any comment, you can comment down there and let me know what you think and what we can do. God bless you.